Hi, I'm Karen. I'm a full-time reseller who's in thrift stores every day. I have a list of 8 things that you can buy at thrift stores that will save you money. So let's get started. Number 1, lamps. There are a ton of lamps in thrift stores, and they are at a great price. Usually at my thrift stores in my area, the lamps are priced anywhere between $5 and $15. Sometimes that comes with a lampshade, sometimes it doesn't, but that is a huge discount over buying them brand new. Bring a tape measure and bring a light bulb, because a lot of times they don't have light bulbs. All the thrift stores will have a plug where you can turn it on. So check it out. You could save a lot of money by buying lamps at thrift stores. Number 2, holiday decor. Yes, I know. Right now, when I'm taping this, it's just after Christmas. So the stores are flooded with discounted Christmas items if you go to the regular stores. But I'm not just talking about the items that you would pick up right after a holiday. All year long, you can find fabulous holiday decor for all of the holidays throughout the year. Just a few days ago, I was in a thrift store and I was looking at Easter and Halloween and 4th of July. It doesn't matter when the holiday is. The thrift stores do not have enough space in the back to save a lot of the decor, the smaller stuff. They might save big things like Christmas trees, but they do not have the space to save all the little stuff. So they put it out whenever they get it. And it is usually very cheap, especially if the holiday is not coming up in the next month or so. You can find some really great things, and I highly recommend taking a look at that over buying brand new. Number 3, clear glass. Yes, I said clear glass. So everything from vases to kitchen drinking glasses to platters, anything you can think of that's clear glass. It all ends up on this big shelf. Every single thrift store has one. And they are usually giving it away dirt cheap because it's just not in style right now, and that's not what most of the people are buying. Resellers aren't buying it because it doesn't sell for enough money, especially since it's breakable, and if they're going to try to ship it, it's just not worth the little bit of profit that they're going to make. So you can find some really great pieces. Whether you are looking for some drinking glasses for your kitchen, or you are looking for crystal platters or crystal champagne glasses. You might even be able to find really high-end brands like Waterford or Tiffany, because the people in the back aren't even taking a look closely. If they see clear glass, they slap a dirt cheap price on it. At my thrift store, most of those items are $1. Even if you're just buying juice glasses, you cannot beat that price. And they are in perfect condition. So why would you go buy them at full price? Number 4, speaking of kitchen items, let's talk about kitchen items. It is a huge category. Everything from dishes, plates, bowls, storage containers, gadgets, pots and pans, crock pots, small kitchen appliances, toasters. All of this stuff is flooded in every thrift store. And it is something that is not really a display item. It's a practical item. So does it really matter if that vintage metal strainer that you're going to use to strain your pasta has a couple of dents in it? I don't think so. I bought one. And if it's held up all of these years with just a couple of dents, it's going to hold up for my use too. I bought an Airbnb, and I actually outfitted the entire kitchen with a couple of minor exceptions, like a coffee pot. at the thrift stores. And yes, the thrift stores do have coffee pots. I just wanted one that I didn't have to worry about cleaning the insides and making sure it was completely sanitary. So before you buy anything for your kitchen, I would head to your nearest thrift store. We're halfway through, so be sure to stick around to the end because number 8 is a big one. But right now, let's talk about number 5, and that is books. If you like to read, there are walls of books in most thrift stores, and they are usually priced so cheap. Maybe $1, maybe $2 for a book. Now, I will have to say that in most of them, they are not very organized. So you have to just be willing to look through all those titles. But if you like to read, whether it's novels or whether it's just interesting, fun, nonfiction topics, you definitely should check out a thrift store. Number 6, the stuffed animals, or commonly known as plush. Well, I don't have kids, but I do have dogs. I think you can see one of them right over here. And one of my dogs, not this one, but one of my dogs really loves small itty bitty stuffed animals. And at most thrift stores, they are very cheap. They are definitely cheaper than going to the pet store. And if you have a dog, like many dogs, that their favorite thing to do is to rip them apart as soon as they get them, you really don't want to be spending much money on them. So I do have a recommendation. If you are picking up plush for a dog, treat it like you would if it was a plush for a baby. You don't want things that they can swallow. So you don't want hard eyes. You don't want a hard nose. And you definitely don't want beans on the inside or anything that you can feel like if they start to de-stuff it is going to go everywhere on your floor. So I squeeze them. I make sure it's all just fluff and that there is nothing that they can swallow. But given that, there's a lot of them. And if you are buying stuffed animals for kids and you really want to make sure that they are sanitary, keep in mind that you can put stuffed animals into the washing machine. Just don't dry them. Let them air dry. They will fluff back up and they will look brand new. I've been known to also use something like OxyClean if they have clothes or they have a little spot on them, but they just do great in the washing machine. If you put them in the dryer, they will end up with completely matted, tangled fur, and you will want to throw them away. So don't do that. But they are absolutely fabulous. They will be clean and sanitary, and they will look like new. So don't forget the plush aisle. Number 7, baskets. Yes, I said baskets. Baskets have actually gotten fairly expensive if you buy them brand new. And honestly, the pre-owned one looks exactly the same. They are very rarely damaged. And sometimes they might have a little dust on them. You could just spray them off with a little bit of water, wipe them dry. I mean, if they're caked in dust, you might just leave that one behind, but the rest of them are really great. And my experience is baskets are usually between $1 and $4, and that $4 is for the huge ones. So they are a great way to organize things, and they really add a little bit of warmth to your home without spending much money. So check out the baskets aisle. Okay, here's the big one. Thank you for sticking around. Number 8 is clothes. You might have guessed that because when you walk into a lot of thrift stores, maybe 75% of the store is clothing. And hold on, if you're thinking clothes, just hang on for a second and let's talk about it. Anything you buy at a thrift store that is fabric, I would wash. because you just have no idea. And truthfully, the thrift stores are not cleaning them. Some of my thrift stores do spray them with this disinfectant. So I don't know how well that really works, but it does give them a very strong flowery scent. And honestly, they're not clean enough that I would want to wear them. But how is that any different than you wore some clothes and you threw it in the washer and they are perfectly clean versus you bought something somebody else wore, you threw it in the washer and it is perfectly clean? It really isn't any different. Other than the fact that these clothes are going to be really cheap compared to buying new. Yes, there is a lot of really low quality clothing in the thrift stores. A lot of fast fashion, a lot of Walmart and Target brands. And I'm not saying buy that stuff. Although this sweater I'm wearing right now, I think is Old Navy. And so even stores that aren't really high-end stores can have really good, nice items. And if you're buying it for $5, $6, it doesn't need to last forever. It's a great place to buy, in particular, shirts. There are just so many shirts in the thrift store. If you need a particular color or you like a particular style and you don't want to break your bank, go to the thrift store. The men's section doesn't have as much as the women's section, but they do have a lot of great shirts, especially button-down shirts. So whether you're looking for a casual plaid or you're looking for a dress shirt for that event or for going to the office, there are a lot of them and they are very inexpensive. Coats are a great thing to buy at thrift stores because coats are so expensive. And again, you can throw them in the wash. Honestly, nowadays, we've figured out that the washing machines can even handle things like wool. So even if you're buying something that has a dry clean only tag on it, if you're only investing a few dollars, I would give it a try. Now, a lot of those dry clean only items, I still drip dry. But I do throw them in a delicate cycle and they're just fine. Even wool, just don't put it in the dryer. So what about you? Do you buy things at the thrift store? I love thrift stores and I would love to hear what else you are buying to put into your house. Thanks for joining me. If you like this video, I would love it if you would subscribe. I'm a new channel and I am actively adding videos that talk to people over 40 about things that can make their life better, whether they are on a budget or they are looking for ways to live more comfortably, or like me, if they're living with a chronic illness. I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.